So, good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Maurya Hanspal, and in today's session, we're going to talk about financial management. What is financial management? Why is it so important? And why should we study financial management? So, first, since we are talking about financial management, it's going to be a very basic topic. For all of you who are doing your BBA, who are doing your BCom, or even a subject of financial management in your MBA, and who have tried to understand the crux of this chapter would be quite familiar of what I'm going to tell you today. Okay. So for those people, especially for BBA, BCom, and MBA, it's going to be a revision for all of you. So what exactly is financial management and why is financial management so important? As the name suggests, financial management. In some way, we are trying to manage our finances. अपने पैसों को कैसे मैनेज करना है, how to manage our money, how to manage our funds. Financial management in all the colleges, be it your BBA, be it your BCom, be it your MBA, is taught only from the corporate's point of view, from the commercial point of view, or from the company's point of view. Students are taught that financial management is a concept which is prevalent only for the companies, that how do companies manage their finances. The companies are raising funds. The companies can raise through equity. The company can raise through debt or a combination of both equity and debt, as what we call them as hybrid instruments. The company can also issue some share warrants or take loans, be it a short term loan or a long term loan. But what is taught in financial management in all the colleges is basically on the basis of the corporate point of view. And everything in each and every book, like you will be viewing, that when they talk about the corporate finances or companies' finances, they believe only two sources of finances are raised by the company. That is equity and debt. उसके अलावा कंपनी के पास तो पैसा ही नहीं है या कोई और sources of funds है ही नहीं. So in this session, I'll be talking about financial management, the realities of financial management, some of the myths of financial management that you people as a student of core finance must avoid. Sorry. So, financial management, as the name suggests, is basically managing your finances in the best possible way. That is, from the accumulation of finances to preserving your finances, as well as efficient and effective utilization or appropriation of those finances. कि पैसा कहाँ से आ रहा है, उस पैसे को कैसे बचाना है, and how to spend that money. And financial management is a concept which is prevalent not only for the companies or for the corporates. It is also for the people who are managing their own funds in case of personal finance also. Right? So financial management or managing funds companies में तो है but personal life में भी है. Right? If we look at like category number 1 from the company's point of view, the company is having finances, the company has to manage their finances, companies को कम से कम अपने खर्चे करने हैं and ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपनी income बढ़ानी है. Because when the revenues would be more than expenses, the companies would be making profit. And that is what the companies focus upon. They want to kind of reduce their expenses, their direct cost, indirect cost, cost of hiring, and various other expenditures the company wants to reduce so as to maximize their revenue and have positive profits and somewhat later some positive cash flows as well. But why do we ignore this concept of financial management when we're looking at from the individual's point of view, or when we're looking at to manage our personal finances? So that is one thing we need to take into consideration. Remember one thing, when you people used to be small, or there might be some people who might be receiving pocket money as well. So just for example, you received a monthly pocket money of 2000 rupees from your family. So if you are getting a monthly pocket money of 2000 rupees, managing that pocket money, how to use that funds from that 2000 rupees, how much to save, isn't that financial management? Isn't that you are using the concept of financial management on your personal income, on your personal lives as well? Out of that 2000 rupees that you used to get, because I am taking a very simple example because this thing happens in all the families, some basic pocket money. Of that 2000 rupees, Out of that 2000 rupees, you're gonna spend 500 rupees or 600 rupees on your traveling expenses, 600 rupees or 700 rupees on your books or study materials. आजकल तो सब online ही मिल जाता है. But a huge a proportion of it would also be spent on your like friends get together, like going out with friends, eating something out, and luxury stuffs and all that. But apart from that, you would also be saving a certain amount of money from that 2000 rupees. Because you know, if you are saving at least 500 rupees or 400 rupees from that 2000 rupees, again the next month you're gonna get the same 2000 rupees and 400 rupees you had saved. So the total amount that you have to spend in the next month, you have to मतलब कि spend करना नहीं है, but spend करने के लिए तुम्हारे पास जो पैसा है that is again 2000 rupees इस महीने का plus 400 जो पिछले महीने का बचाया. Again you saved like 4000 rupees this month also. Third month में you got 2000 rupees. Now you have 2000 rupees for this month, 400 rupees for the previous month and 400 rupees for the previous to previous month. 800 वहाँ का and 2000 इस महीने. So total 2800 rupees you are having right now with you. Okay, so that is like you were saving money, right? So isn't it financial management? Is financial management only from the company's point of view or from the corporate's point of view? No. Even from the personal point of view, you were managing your finances. So when a person like receives the salary or receives the income, a traditional rule we try to follow, that is 50, 30 and 20 rule. It means 50% of the amount that you receive is spent on your needs, 30% is spent on your wants, and 20% is for your saving. Okay? It says that 50% you are spending on your needs, that is basically roti, kapda and makan. Okay? Spending on your like somewhat like related to necessities, we can say. Your groceries, your medicines, your food items, which are important for home and you cannot live without these items. So 50% of your income should be spent on needs, 30% on wants. Wants may be like you want to buy something, so na khareed ke still you can live without that. It might be some certain kinds of luxuries or certain kind of things that like provide you happiness. And 20% should be savings. Again, savings का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि you should have all this amount as cash with you. Try to invest certain amount. At least 90% of this amount, try to invest somewhere in equity market, stock market, bond market. Because if you're just having savings with you, and when we talk about economics, savings are termed as the leakages in the economy. उस पैसे से कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, एक पैसा पड़ा हुआ है and पैसा वहीं पड़ा हुआ है. But if you are investing your savings in stock markets, in bond markets, कहीं भी तुम invest कर रहे हो for a certain amount of return, that would be investment. And investment is a gain to society, not a leakage to society. Okay? So इस चीज का ध्यान रखना कि 50% needs पे होने चाहिए, 30% wants पे, and 20% on savings. That is further goes to investment. And if 30% of wants go, if you people can further reduce it, see this 50, 30 and 20 rule was made by a certain person. कि 50% आपको needs पर ही करनी है, 30% wants पर ही करनी है, 20% savings पर ही करनी है. But ऐसे बहुत लोग होंगे जिनकी needs सिर्फ 30% में खत्म हो जाती होंगी. अब अगर किसी की needs 30% में खत्म हो रही है, तो ऐसे कुछ जबरदस्त तो नहीं है ना, मतलब कोई जबरदस्ती या हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल कि 20% उसको और स्पेंड करना ही करना है. So this rule is a guideline, but this rule it might differ from person to person. But एक चीज को याद रखना, अपनी wants को needs से हमेशा कम रखना. ऐसा नहीं है कि 30% अगर needs होगी तो wants should take to like 50%. नहीं, wants should always be less than needs. इस चीज का ध्यान रखना. ठीक है, या you can say equivalent to needs also in some of the cases. But invest, try करो कि you invest maximum of the amount. After focusing on all your needs, try to reduce your wants to the maximum extent. कम से कम अपनी wants रखो ताकि invest ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रखो. So your more focus should be on needs and your savings. Needs पे first focus, Second focus should be on savings and investment, and third focus should be on wants. Okay, so what do I believe of this 50-30 rule? Like, without taking these numbers, spend first amount of money on your needs, ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद spend on your savings, which would further lead to investments. अब जो अमाउंट बचा, अगर बचा, या तुमने मतलब कम से कम बचाया, उसको wants. And this mid amount of savings, which is being transformed into investment, would give you a very high amount of return due to compounding. Because stock market works on the principle of compounding. Okay, so it's gonna give you a very high level of return, compounding. Okay, so this is one thing that you need to know. अब दूसरी चीज आती है. अब now we understood that financial management is both from the corporate point of view as well as from the personal point of view. Up now people talk about the two most important goals of financial management. What are the two most important goals of financial management? One is the profit maximization. And the other is the wealth maximization. One is the profit maximization and the other is the wealth maximization. So these two are the most important goals or the objectives of financial management. If someone asks you in the corporate interview या कहीं भी कि what are the two most important goals of financial management, or what are just the goals or the objectives of financial management, then you can say the two most important objectives of financial management are the profit maximization and number two is the wealth maximization. Okay, so what happens in profit maximization? Profit maximization is basically to increase the profit of the company. And how can the profit of the company be increased? Having maximum revenue बढ़ती जाए and expenses कम से कम होते जाए. Because if you are having maximum revenues and revenues ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कंपनी को आ रही हैं and expenses कम से कम हो रहे हैं, and revenues minus expenses is your profitability. And that is basic thing which we understand in the concept of profit maximization. But what happens in case of wealth maximization? There are two sources of wealth maximization. One is the capital appreciation. And one is the dividend. One is the capital appreciation and one is dividend. A profit maximization की condition थी कि revenue should be greater than expenses. Should try to maximize your revenues and minimize your expenses. But wealth maximization में we had two concepts. One is the capital appreciation and second is the dividend. Okay. अब हम इसकी बात करते हैं. And जो wealth maximization के दो concepts हैं, that is the capital appreciation and dividend. A lot of students are confused about that as well. Like a lot of confusion is there. See, what happens in wealth maximization concept? The first one was capital appreciation. So what is capital appreciation? In case you have purchased a share of 200 rupees in the market, and the value of that 200 rupees ka share, it rises to 300 rupees. So that is the capital appreciation. कि market conditions की वजह से, the company is performing well in the market, the company is showing profitability, the company has positive cash flows, the company has a sustainable growth in future. On the basis of this, the company is showing a positivity. उसकी वजह से company का share price बढ़ गया. So this is capital appreciation and this is not dividend. A large number of people बोलते हैं कि wealth maximization का मतलब है कि share price बढ़ गया and capital appreciation and dividend are one and the same thing. नहीं. इसको हम capital appreciation क्यों बोलते हैं? Because 200 rupees we had invested and 200 rupees is our capital. And on the basis of the market conditions, on the basis of the well performance by the company, on the basis of its fundamentals, the profitabilities and cash flows, this has increased to 300 rupees. This is capital appreciation. But what is dividend? If the company thinks that the company has earned a large amount of profit, a large amount of cash flows, and to make the investors or the shareholders satisfied or happy, the company would say, ki, let me give certain amount of extra money to the shareholders over and above the capital appreciation. Okay. And it is not mandatory कि अगर capital appreciation होगा तो dividend तभी मिलेगा. There are cases कि capital appreciation हुआ है and dividend नहीं मिला. There also have been cases कि capital appreciation हुआ ही नहीं है, ठीक है, but still dividend मिला. Okay, because the company has cash flows and profitability, as happens in case of ITC also. कि share price गिर रहा है, ठीक है, but dividends आ रहे हैं, ठीक है. तो डिविडेंड अगर कंपनी को लग रहा है टू इंटीज द शेयर होल्डर्स, टू मेक द शेयर होल्डर्स हैप्पी, एंड द कंपनी इज हैविंग एक्स्ट्रा मनी, टू गिव सम एक्स्ट्रा मनी टू शेयर होल्डर्स, द कंपनी वुड से कि लेट मी गिव लाइक 10% ऑफ द डिविडेंड, कि 10% में एक्स्ट्रा पैसा में कंपनी शेयर होल्डर्स को दे देगी. एंड दैट 10% इज जस्ट अ नंबर, इट कैन बी 2%, 20%, 30%, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन द कंपनी. तो 30% जो डिविडेंड देगी, इट वोंट बी ऑन 200 रुपीज और 300 रुपीज. That dividend would be on the face value जब कंपनी फर्स्ट टाइम लिस्ट हुई थी आईपीओ के टाइम. तो मान लो कि शेयर का प्राइस था 10 एंड 10 वाज द फेस वैल्यू, तो 10 रुपए पे 10% का डिविडेंड मिलेगा, मतलब सिर्फ 1 रुपए. तो डिविडेंड इज ऑलवेज डिक्लेयर्ड ऑन द फेस वैल्यू एंड नॉट द करंट प्राइस ऑफ द शेयर. ओके, तो ये मत सोचना मतलब कि 20 रुपए डिविडेंड मिल गया. दिस इज द करंट मार्केट प्राइस, द फेस वैल्यू वाज 10. तो डिविडेंड हमेशा फेस वैल्यू पर मिलेगा, ठीक है. तो बस 1 रुपए का डिविडेंड मिला. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे शेयर्स होंगे तो डिविडेंड एक्यूमुलेट होकर बहुत सारा बन जाएगा, ठीक है. तो डिविडेंड इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन. कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन इज जस्ट कि प्राइस बढ़ा शेयर्स का, एंड डिविडेंड इज एक्स्ट्रा पैसा जो शेयर होल्डर्स को खुश करने के लिए दिया जाता है. और शेयर होल्डर्स वुड बी हैप्पी कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम द कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन, या अगर कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन हो भी नहीं रही, still we are getting dividends. People will be holding that stocks, right, and the reputation of the company would improve because the company is satisfying the shareholders. Even लोग भी like उस कंपनी के शेयर्स नहीं बेचेंगे because उस कंपनी से पैसा मिल रहा है. Okay, so that is one thing, and that is the difference between the capital appreciation and dividend that you all must know. Okay, so two most important objectives of financial management is the profit maximization, and second is the wealth maximization. And wealth maximization includes your capital appreciations and dividend. Okay. Now the second concept, if someone asks you, okay, the three most important activities in financial management. What are the three most important activities in financial management? First is, or the three most important decisions you can say. Okay. First decision you can say as the investing decision or the investment decision. Second is the financing decision. And third is the working capital decision. इसको हम dividend decision भी कहते हैं. ठीक है? First is the investment decision. Second is the financing decision. And third is the working capital decision या फिर dividend decision. So two most important objectives हमने पढ़ लिए. अब three most important decisions क्या हैं या activities कौन सी हैं in financial management. First is the investment का decision या activity. Second is the financing decision, and third is the working capital decision or the dividend decision. So first let's talk about investment decision. So investment decision is basically कि कहाँ पे कंपनी को अपना पैसा इन्वेस्ट करना है. शेयर्स में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं या फिर दे आर लाइक इन्वेस्टिंग मनी टू बाय लैंड, बाइंग बिल्डिंग, बाइंग द प्रॉपर्टी और बाइंग सम मशीनरी इक्विपमेंट दैट वुड हेल्प द कंपनी टू रन इट्स ऑपरेशंस. सो बेसिकली कंपनी का पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है, दैट इज द इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन. कंपनी ने अपना पैसा कहाँ लगाया है. अब ऑब्वियसली अगर कंपनी ने अपना पैसा कहीं लगाया है तो द कंसर्न फॉर द कंपनी वुड बी व्हाट, द कंसर्न फॉर द कंपनी वुड बी कि वहां से कुछ रिटर्न भी आए. सो इफ द कंपनी इज गोइंग फॉर द इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन, द कंपनी, what the company would be doing, the company would be wanting a fair amount of return from that investment, कि कुछ उस इन्वेस्टमेंट से कुछ पैसा भी तो आए. So the main concern or the main thing that the company would taking into consideration for the purpose of going for investment is getting a higher return. But more or less investment decisions are basically those decisions which are meant for the investment purposes कि कंपनी अपना पैसा कहाँ लगा. सेकेंड डिसीजन यू हैव एज द फाइनेंसिंग डिसीजन. अब कंपनी ने अपना पैसा तो लगाया, कंपनी ने शेयर्स खरीदे हैं, कंपनी ने प्लांट एंड मशीनरी खरीदी है, बिल्डिंग प्रॉपर्टी खरीदी है, ऑल दीज थिंग गोना हेल्प द कंपनी, बट कैसे खरीदी है. Here the topic comes for the financing decision. How is the company purchasing it? Okay, so that is the financing decision. Through the use of equity, क्या डेट रेज करा है कंपनी ने, या थ्रू बोथ इक्विटी एंड डेट कि कंपनी ने मार्केट में शेयर्स बेचे थे, शेयर्स बेचने से जो पैसा आया, फ्रॉम दैट द कंपनी हैज परचेज समथिंग फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट पर्पसेस, और फॉर परचेजिंग प्लांट एंड मशीनरी द कंपनी हैज टेकन लोन और अ डेट, और द कंपनी हैज यूज्ड द कैश इन इट्स रिजर्व्स. जो कंपनी के पास कैश था, कंपनी ने वो कैश यूज करा. तो हाउ द कंपनी हैज फाइनेंस्ड द डिसीजन, सो दैट इज बेसिकली फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ फाइनेंसिंग डिसीजन. तो अगर इक्विटी से करा है अच्छी बात है, बट अगर डेट से करा है तो हमें देखना है कि डेट कितना लिया है. Will the company be able to sufficiently pay off the debts or not? तो इसमें फिर इंटरेस्ट ऑब्लिगेशन एंड प्रिंसिपल ऑब्लिगेशन आ जाती है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स यू नीड टू टेक इनटू कंसिडरेशन कि इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजंस में पैसा लगाया है तो उसमें से कुछ रिटर्न आ रहा है या नहीं, कोई मतलब कि प्रोडक्टिव डिसीजन है या नहीं है, एंड अगर नहीं है तो इट इज अ वेस्टफुल एक्सपेंडिचर. अब उस चीज में पैसा लगाया तो पैसा कहाँ से लगाया, तो दैट्स अ फाइनेंसिंग डिसीजन. फ्रॉम विच सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस, इक्विटी से लगा रहे हैं, डेट से लगा रहे हैं, कहाँ से लगा, तो दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. जिस सोर्स से लगा रहे हैं उसके क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, क्या डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं, सो दीज थिंग्स यू ऑल नीड टू नो. थर्ड आता है वर्किंग कैपिटल डिसीजन या फिर डिविडेंड डिसीजन. अब इसमें क्या होता है, द वर्किंग कैपिटल एज वी नो इट इज फॉर द डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज ऑफ द कंपनी, दैट इज द वर्किंग कैपिटल. कि इम्प्लॉयज को सैलरी देनी है, कुछ गो डाउन के खर्चे हैं, कुछ ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपेंसेस हैं, बिजनेस एक्सपेंसेस हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का खर्चा कंपनी का. तो इन सब चीजों के लिए कंपनी के पास पैसा है या नहीं है फॉर डे टू डे एक्सपेंसेस ऑफ द कंपनी, दैट इज वर्किंग कैपिटल. यू नीड टू सी कि उसके लिए करंट एसेट्स कंपनी के पास ज्यादा होने चाहिए एज कंपेयर टू करंट लाइबिलिटीज. बिकॉज जब हम लाइक नेट वर्किंग कैपिटल की बात करते हैं, वी हैव द फॉर्मूला ऑफ करंट एसेट्स माइनस करंट लाइबिलिटीज, राइट. So the current assets should always be greater than current liabilities, ताकि कंपनीज की जो भी लाइबिलिटीज हैं वो एटलीस्ट हम पे ऑफ तो कर पा रहे हैं. हमारे पास इतना कैश, अगर कैश नहीं है तो करंट एसेट्स तो हैं एटलीस्ट कि हम लाइबिलिटीज को पे ऑफ कर पा रहे हैं. दैट इज द वर्किंग कैपिटल डिसीजन. ओके, कि कंपनी के पास इतना पैसा होना चाहिए, इतने फंड्स होने चाहिए कि डे टू डे वो एक्सपेंडिचर्स अपने पूरे कर लें. एंड इसमें हम डिविडेंड का भी हम डिसीजन डाल देते हैं कि डिविडेंड कितना देना है, कितना नहीं देना. बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली अगर कंपनी के पास अगर 100 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट आया, 100 में से द कंपनी हैज गिवन लाइक 20 करोड़ एज डिविडेंड, तो बाकी बचा हुआ जो 80 है उसका वो रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स हो गया, RE, दैट इज द रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स, एंड 20% इज अ डिविडेंड, राइट. तो एक अप्रोप्रिएट बैलेंस होना चाहिए बिटवीन द रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स एंड डिविडेंड. इफ द कंपनी इज कीपिंग होल 100 करोड़ एज रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स, so that might indicate कि the company is going for further expansion, for further diversification, कुछ नया कंपनी करने वाली है, इसलिए कंपनी ने किसी को डिविडेंड नहीं दिया. So that indicates a growth prospectus of the company. Even तुम 50-50 भी कर सकते हो ये रेशियो, but the retained earnings of the company should not be zero. And ऐसे नहीं कि पूरा मतलब कि 100 का 100 डिविडेंड दे दिया. अगर 100 का 100 डिविडेंड दे देंगे, शेयर प्राइस एकदम से गिर जाएगा. क्यों गिर जाएगा? बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली शेयर प्राइस को अगर कंपनी से कैश गया है, पैसा गया, तो ऑब्वियसली द शेयर प्राइस वुड एडजस्ट. व्हाई? बिकॉज दैट वुड इंडिकेट द कंपनी इज नॉट हैविंग अ गुड ग्रोथ प्रोस्पेक्ट इन फ्यूचर. क्या पता कि कंपनी बंद हो रही है, क्या पता जो कंपनी के ओनर्स हैं वो सारा पैसा देके वो कंपनी को बंद कर रहे हैं एंड कंपनी को लिक्विडेट कर रहे हैं, एंड कंपनी के पास कुछ पैसा है ही नहीं, कुछ मतलब कि रिटेन अर्निंग्स है ही नहीं, तो हाउ विल द कंपनी ग्रो, हाउ विल द कंपनी सर्वाइव. ठीक है, तो वहां पर इशू आ जाता है. तो एक appropriate balance होना चाहिए. And the same thing happened in case of like one company as well. Okay, that declared dividend for like 1940%. That company was Majesco. Okay, till I remember. तो बहुत डिविडेंड दे दिया उस कंपनी में. ठीक है, तो ग्रोथ प्रोस्पेक्ट्स कंपनी के लाइक बहुत कम लगने लगे. ओके, सो दैट इज वन थिंग यू पीपल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड एनालाइज. ठीक है, तो ये थिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है. So these were the 3 most important decisions in financial management that you should know. So like this was the session on complete financial management. Like we touched like some of the basics of financial management that you people should know. So see you in the next session. Thank you so much.